Record. Hi, my name is Carolyn Krupp. I am one of the clinicians at Summit Point, and welcome to our fabulous webinar, Crisis Survival Teaching. This is my lovely and talented coworker.
I'm Henrietta, a peer support with Summit Point.
And we are hoping the skills we are going to teach you will help you through whatever crisis you may be facing now or in the future. So one of the first things to understand is what really defines a crisis. And in the mindset we're looking at, we're using a mindful definition of crisis. So there are three things that have to be present. One, there's a stressful or traumatic event. What's a good example of that, Henrietta?
Right now, having to stay home.
All right. So the event is short term, meaning it's not something that you're going to have to adjust to forever. Would you agree that our staying home quarantine is short term?
If I take it in days or hours, yes. Because I just have to get through until I can handle it.
Mm-hmm. And this event is going to cause intense emotions that make you want it resolved. I know I've had lots of conversations with people who are like, but I want to go to the movie, or I want to go out now, and so that stress of the home quarantine keeps them in that moment of crisis. Is that what you've experienced, Henrietta?
Yes, the struggle is before this, I was okay being at home, and now I'm not. So it wasn't a crisis before this happened, and now it's a great struggle.
So shifting your mindset to adopting these three rules of crisis is a lot like shifting your mindset from a linear perspective to a mindful moment perspective. So when we are thinking linear, we are thinking in terms of this X here, and we are assuming that through all the moments of time, that by this X, we will remain feeling the same, thinking the same, and life will be exactly the same. Moving to a more mindful approach, we can see that this moment here may be defined by our emotions, but in this moment here, those emotions may be changed because there are all of these emotions in between where it's possible things have changed.
So is it possible, like I said, before this happened, I was okay coming home, being alone at my house. And now, because with everything that's out of my control going on, I find it really stressful, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of it.
And absolutely, that is very common, that this moment here may be full of intense emotions. As things start to change, they may go down a little bit more. And that's that sign that you're moving out of crisis and into a new moment and cultivating a new normal in order to get to this moment where maybe these intensities are going to keep going down.
So it doesn't have to change the event, just that moment.
Exactly. And moments are defined however you want. If this moment here is an intense moment and you're thinking, I just got to get through this second, maybe our magic moment down here, you can shift that thinking to, this one's a good day, I'll go the whole 24-hour day moment definition. And you can fluctuate it in between as you need.
Okay, so I can bite off little pieces and I don't have to try to chew everything.
Absolutely. Take the moment in bite-sized chunks.
Okay, so I don't have to plan till the 30th as of right now. I can just look at what can I do today
Mhm.
to get where I need to be.
Absolutely. So, but there are two things to keep in mind, and that is that there are two rules of crisis survival.
Two rules.
Two rules. One is if you can solve the crisis, solve it. So I know I struggled a lot in my life with the garbage overflowing. And whose fault was it that the garbage was overflowing? And why is it no one else I live with can take out the garbage? And it was short-term event causing lots of stress. I wanted it fixed. So I would go and yell at people.
I know that feeling.
And I had to get in the, oh, wait a minute, if this is my crisis, I can solve that. I can take the garbage out and solve it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And if all life's problems were that easy, it would be great. So we know we're going to encounter problems where we can't solve it. Like right now with our home quarantine, we can't solve all the things that have to go into being safe again to return back to our life as it was. So the second rule, if you cannot solve it, survive it. What do you think survival means?
I don't know. Right now, it's just a matter of, can I make it through the day? Can I make it till lunchtime where I can fix lunch without yelling at my puppy right now? He's the only one here. And it's not his fault that we're here.
So key thing, surviving means being alive at the end of the day. If you want to wrap up and put in and not yell and not smash anything and not hurt anyone's feelings, that's on you. But if you are alive at the end of the day, you have met that standard of survival.
So surviving it could look like staying in bed under my blanket watching a movie.
If that's what the best effort you can do to survive it is and get through that moment till the next, absolutely. Take that judgment off of, oh, I'm being lazy. Oh, I should. Survival is survival. If we were to magically travel through an airplane to Jamaica and crash, no one would meet us at the beach after a month and say, oh, you stink. Oh, your hair's knotted up. Oh, perhaps you've lost some weight. They would be like amazed we survived. Give yourself that same credit and permission.
So sometimes surviving is just breathing.
Absolutely. Sometimes if you're in that intense moment and it is all you can do, give yourself that permission, that ability to accept breathing is it right now. And it is the best you can do in this moment.
Well, that makes it easier. It seems like it takes that pressure off me that I have to do more than I can.
And absolutely, we add a lot of pressure onto ourselves when we attempt to fix everything or we attempt to add standards when really there's only two: solve it or survive it. And do what you have to do in that moment to either do one or the other.
Okay, so now I know my daughter, she lives across the street. Her situation is different than mine. So will my survival look like hers?
Absolutely not. Everyone has their own survival definitions. And as we move through our life, we're going to change our own survival definitions. That's a part of growing. But it still comes down to be alive at the end of the day or solve the problem. Those are your options.
Okay. That makes more sense. And knowing they're going to change, though, what survival is today isn't necessarily what it'll be tomorrow.
Absolutely not, because that bubble will have moved. And you'll be down that chain of bubbles. And who knows, maybe in another month, we'll be surviving something new.
I like that. I like that. That gives me hope.
I hope our fabulous audience enjoys it too.